Alright, Mr. Shankland, I'm going to show you guys how to write the counts in and write the rhythms to match the counts for quarter notes and quarter rests. So, to review, right up here we have quarter notes, right? So, a quarter note means just clap or play one beat. And then underneath our quarter notes, we write the count numbers. So, we organize them in groups of 4. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. The first one's number 1. Second one is number 2, third one is number 3, and the fourth one's number 4. Over here we have our quarter rests, which just mean don't clap or rest one beat of silence. Same thing, organized in a group of 4. Underneath that we have 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you look on either side, we have these parentheses, right? Those little half circles. So I'm on the side of the paper that has the numbers written in. So in this case, when we have quarter notes and quarter rests, it'll always be 1, 2, 3, 4 written underneath. But what we need to do to make it right is we need to put parentheses around the rests. So I look up here, I see number 1, that symbol, that's my quarter note symbol. There's already a 1 under it, that's right, so I leave it alone. I go on, here's my second one, there's a rest symbol, that squiggle there. So I check, there's my rest here. If there's a 2, I gotta put parentheses around it because it's a rest and I don't make any noise. So put my parentheses around it like that. Look at my next symbol. Matches up here. There's my quarter note. 3 written under it. 3 written under it. So they match. I leave it alone. 4 symbol. That's a squiggle. That matches my quarter rest. When there's a quarter rest on 4, gotta put parentheses. So then there we go. Add my parentheses here. So to review, your steps are, step 1, I look at my symbol, I compare, I see the count written underneath it, then I'm either going to write that count underneath or check that they're the same. Move on to my next one, compare, and then you check, and then you make it match. So the next section says I've got to write the rhythms to match the counts. So this is the opposite. So I see right here, I've got that number 1. I look up here, what do I do when there's a number 1 with no parentheses? Write a quarter note. So I'm going to go over here, put a quarter note, put a little dot. There's my line, I got a quarter note. Next count, I have just a 2, no parentheses. Find where there's the 2 and no parentheses on my worksheet. It's going to be a quarter note, so I add my quarter note in here. Dot with a line, there's 2. Look at my next count, there's my rhythm. I got a 3 with parentheses. Find where there's that 3 with parentheses on my worksheet, right over here. 3 with parentheses, that means I got to put a squiggle, put that quarter rest in. So there's my squiggle for my quarter rest. And my last beat here, 4 with parentheses. So I'm going to go over here, 4 with parentheses, that's a rest. And I'm going to write my rest in just above that. So there we go. Okay, squiggle. So there we go. So 1, 2, 3 parentheses, 4 parentheses, quarter, quarter, rest, rest. So your steps here, look at the number, find where that number matches on your worksheet, put the symbol that goes with that number. So that's how I come up with this. Your last part, you're going to write 5 different 4-beat rhythms. So here I am. I can do it either way. So I could go, all right, I'm going to put 1, 2, 3 parentheses, 4. So I write my numbers first, and then I work backwards from that. So I look, 1, if there's just a 1, that's a quarter note. 2, without parentheses, quarter note. 3, with parentheses, it's a quarter rest. 4, no parentheses, quarter note. And my quarter note in there. Then I got 1 4-beat rhythm. I draw a line, and then I move on to my next one. So I could do the opposite, right? So now I could put my rhythm here. So I'll go quarter, rest, rest, quarter. Now I go backwards. So I look, all right, quarter note on the first beat. What goes under that? Just a regular number 1. I have a rest on the second beat. What goes under that? Parentheses 2. Rest on the third beat. What goes under that? Parentheses 3. quarter note on the fourth beat. What goes under that? Number 4. And there it is. I have 1, quarter, rest, rest, 4, 1, 2 parentheses, 3 parentheses, 4. And notice that when I do this, see that the 1 is under it. They try to be right on top of each other. That just makes it easier to read. Okay? So that's how you kind of go through the 3 different types of things on this worksheet. We have writing the counts to match the rhythms, writing the rhythm to match the counts, and then making up your own at the end.